The case that we presented was about Erica, who is a 20-year-old student who mostly dealt with her problems through excessive alcohol consumption. Specifically, the main reason for this is because Erica was sexually assaulted by her uncle in the past that resulted in trauma as she repressed her feelings all by herself over the years. Hence, she compensated for her problems through excessive alcohol consumption as she felt that it was the only way to escape reality and ease her pain. This therapy session will demonstrate the theory and technique of a Rogerian-centered therapist. While watching the roleplay, pay attention to the instances in which the therapist uses the following person-centered strategies and techniques. Particularly, these are the genuineness and congruence that could help Erica to have a more realistic understanding of her internal experiences, like her thoughts and emotions that she felt over the years as she carried the trauma that her uncle constructed. Unconditional positive regard that could encourage Erica to be more open about her thoughts, feelings, and actions freely, and thus develop positive feelings and attitude throughout the session. Empathic understanding to acknowledge the emotional experiences of Erica and help her have meaningful insights about her presented problem. And non-directiveness to let Erica realize that her own experiences are the most important factor in the process and that it could lead her to self-discovery, self-acceptance, healing, and positive growth. In addition to that, notice how the therapist attempted to use the foundational skills like the attending skills, listening skills, and empathic communication, as well as create a therapeutic environment that exemplified the core themes of a person-centered therapy, like trust in the client's ability to move forward in a constructive manner, the emphasis on the therapist-client relationship, and the non-directive nature of the dialogue, and strive for self-actualization. Let us now watch how the person-centered therapy would be applied to the role play.
Hello, Erica. How are you doing today?
Hi, thank you for asking. I think I'm fine.
You seem unsure with your response, and I wonder what the sigh is for. May I know what keeps you busy these past few days?
Well, I think there's nothing new in my life anymore, and I feel like I am just trying to keep myself sane every day.
It seems like nothing interests you in your life lately. Can you tell me more about your feelings?
The past few years, I feel like the only escape to reality is by drinking alcohol. There was so much that has happened in my life, and I can't seem to face.
I see. From what you have said so far, you seem to be depending on alcohol to forget your problems. If you don't mind, are you willing to share with me your past experiences that you can seem to face?
You're right. Well, alcohol became my company over the years since I don't have anyone who could understand me, which is why I did not have the will to study well and keep on failing my grades. I often feel distressed whenever I am at school, and I do not care anymore whether I frequently sleep at school since I think nothing goes right in my life anymore.
How could you say that you do not have anyone who can understand you?
All my life, I've been used to being alone. My parents are both busy working abroad to provide the needs of the family. And so, I am only left with my grandmother and uncle most of the time. I also do not have friends with whom I can really share my problems.
It sounds to me that you do not have a close relationship with your grandmother and uncle since you felt alone despite their presence. Can you tell me about your relationship with them?
Yes, indeed. Instead of feeling that they are like my second family, I did not feel any warmth towards them. My grandmother barely notices everything due to her old age, and I think it is my uncle that made my life worse.
What do you mean about your uncle made your life worse?
Ever since I was left by my parents at my grandmother's house, my uncle took advantage and sexually assaulted me when I was 13 years old. And at the same time, I did not know anything better. He threatened to kill me if I disclosed to anybody, especially to my parents. And when I found the courage to tell it to my parents, they did not do anything and not believe me at all. And because of that, I forced to just live with the trauma that my uncle gave me until such time that the only escape that I can do is to drink excessive alcohol just to forget and ease the pain, even with with just a short period of time.
I understand how hard it can be for you to live like nobody could understand you. However, do you think that excessively drinking alcohol would put you into a better situation later on?
No, but at least the alcohol would let me forget my problems once in a while.
How do you think you would be able to face your problems if you keep on drinking alcohol as an alternative solution?
I don't know. I feel like there is no other way for me to get better anymore.
It seems to me that you do not have other better alternatives to cope with your unsolved problems. However, I believe that I could offer you some help to manage your problems and develop new opportunities for you if you let. You wish to proceed?
Um, yes, I would like to proceed. Since I would also like to help myself out from drowning myself in misery through alcohol.
Have you ever tried doing other things or exploring new hobbies like joining organizations, playing sports, or going to the gym?
No, I haven't tried any of those because I'm too afraid that I will not be able to forget all my problems with those things. Since I only find enjoyment in drinking alcohol alone or sometimes with my friends.
It sounds to me that your only escape to your problems is to either drink alone or with your friends. Did you not try to open up your problems to your friends instead of having excessive alcohol consumption?
I don't think my friends would understand or somehow acknowledge my emotions since I have already experienced how it feels to be invalidated with my own family.
With that being said, do you think that drinking alcohol excessively will only bring you enjoyment but not harm?
No. I know that alcohol is not good for my health, and if I continuously drink too much alcohol, it can lead to a more serious illness, which I don't want to happen because I still want to live and have a happier life.
It's great to hear that you still manage to know the consequence of drinking too much and still value your life. If you really want to have a happy life, don't you think that you should try to learn and experience new things where you can find true enjoyment and happiness without putting yourself in danger?
Yes, I think so too. I guess I could start by gradually cutting my alcohol intake and start to develop new hobbies. I would love to try or joining organizations to be able to socialize with other people, and I would really start going to the gym to have a healthier lifestyle.
That's a great choice of new hobbies. Cutting out alcohol may not be an easy thing to do, but cutting it gradually will surely help you to let go of it and be happy without being dependent on alcohol. Do you think you will be able to do it?
Yes, I think so. I think with the right amount of discipline, these new sets of leisure activities will hopefully help me in reducing my alcohol intake.
Since you already acknowledged developing a new set of hobbies, have you also imagined what it is like to move out from your current place or just have some time alone focusing on yourself?
Not yet. But now that you have mentioned it, I realized that it would be a better idea to move out from my current place that has caused me a huge amount of pain so that I could also start a new beginning of myself.
And how do you think you will be able to make it happen?
I will propose this plan to my parents and try to be more honest with what I have really felt these past few years so that they would be able to understand me and allow me to move out.
Based on what we've discussed earlier, the best way to cut out or reduce your alcohol intake is by eliminating the things that trigger you to continuously drink and by trying out new things and moving out from the environment that cause you pain. Do you think those plans would be the best solutions to help you manage your emotions more effectively rather than depending on alcohol?
Yes, because I think that the combination of these plans would help me to have a more time focusing on myself and at the same time divert my attention to a healthier lifestyle by trying to learn new things. And I think moving out from the environment that caused me pain and trauma would help a lot and gradually heal from things that prevented me from living harmoniously.
It seems to me that you're still able to think of a better solution to help yourself out with your problems, aside from being too dependent on alcohol. But do you also think that you can do it in the long term during the actual implementation of your plans and would not go back to excessive alcohol drinking?
I know for a fact that there would be a great possibility that I would be tempted to go back on my old bad habits, which is drinking too much alcohol, especially if something has triggered me, and that is why I'm still quite unsure whether I can really do it.
Then would you just allow yourself to go back to your old habits?
No, I don't think I would like to be put in that situation for a long period of time. Of course, I would like to try my best to overcome these bad old habits of mine and start to become a better version of myself.
How do you think you would prevent yourself from going back to this old habit of yours?
I think if I would continue to have discipline and stay committed with my goals, strategies, and plans, I would be able to solve my issues in a more effective and productive manner rather than abusing myself through excessive alcohol consumptions.
I am delighted with how you're still able to plan things out effectively despite your past experiences. And it seems that you're willing to stay committed with your goals, strategies, and plans to be able to help yourself and change for the better. With that being said, I will follow you up regarding that commitment and see if there will be progress until the next time that we will be meeting again.
Sure. I would like to tell you about the possible improvements that I made until the next time we would see each other again.
The goal of the person-centered therapy is to help the client achieve a self-actualization in a non-directive manner. The therapist cannot set effective goals for the client as they have a lack of knowledge towards the individual. Hence, the goal of client-centered therapy are determined depending on the client, as they are the only ones who have adequate knowledge about themselves. While it is necessary for the client to lead the session, the therapist can support the client's journey. In the counseling session with Erica, the therapist did this by demonstrating Carl Rogers' approach through the use of congruence, genuineness, empathy, and unconditional positive regard. Hence, the person-centered therapy could be a way to provide direct guidance to Erica by finding balance between her idealized self and the actual self, achieve a better self-awareness, create healthier relationships, as well as gradually overcome the trauma that she had experienced in the past. Through person-centered therapy, this could encourage Erica to stop her bad habits of excessive alcohol consumption, become more independent, practice making her own decisions, and reach her fullest potential to be healthier and self-directed over time. By also using person-centered therapy, Erica has the capability to be transformed from a potentially competent individual to a fully competent one.